Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Please carry on.
Okay, thank you. So, I'm Dr. Sohail Saib, the coordinator of this 6-day online faculty development program on AI in Precision Agriculture and Smart Healthcare for Society 5.0, organized by Department of Computer Science Engineering and Computer Applications at Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal. And this FDP is sponsored by ATAL FDP. So, it is my pleasure to welcome you back as we continue the enriching journey of learning and discussion. So today is the day 3, and we have two insightful sessions lined up, and it's already 6 p.m. So I'm really honored to introduce our first esteemed speaker, Professor Dr. Sriyankar Acharya sir, and his expertise in the field will be undoubtedly provide us with valuable knowledge and perspectives. So let me introduce our first speaker. And Professor Sriyankar Acharya studied physics in Presidency College and Calcutta University. Afterwards, he completed MTech and PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from Calcutta University. He joined Bhabha Atomic Research Center, BARC, as a scientific officer in the branch of physics. Because of his passion for teaching, he joined Vivekananda College, followed by Vishwabharati University, Shantiniketan, West Bengal. At present, he is a professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal. His research area is based on AI and related topics like soft computing and machine learning. The application domains of his research include also scheduling, graph coloring, constraint satisfaction, optimization, and bioinformatics, specifically genomics. So let us welcome our speaker. Sir, can you hear me? Are you present? Hello, sir. Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sohail
for
Saib, for introducing me. And good evening to everybody. And I'm also thankful to the coordinators, Dr. Suparna Vishwas and Dr. Sohail Saib, for inviting me in this session. So, can I start now, Sohail?
yes, sir. You can start.
Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, perfectly visible, sir.
Huh?
Perfectly visible, sir.
Okay. And I am audible also?
Yes, sir. Clearly.
Okay. So, my topic is AI, means application of AI in computational genetics. So you may ask me that how it is related to healthcare system, which is our FDP topic. Okay. So the relation is, first I'll clarify the relation. There are many genetic diseases caused by different critical genes. So if we cannot identify those critical genes, we cannot design any drug or remedy. So in genetics, our goal is to discover those critical genes or those genes network, critical genes network means that is something like syndicate. So they together actually playing the role for causing the disease. So our attempt is to discover those regulatory network of genes and those critical genes which is hidden in thousands of genes. Okay, so this is the challenge of this topic. First, our introduction will be on AI optimization because we are framing this problem as an optimization problem finally. So, and this optimization problem does not have any analytical solution. When there is no analytical solution, we can use AI search techniques for searching the solution. So that's why AI optimization technique is being used. And two problems in genetics has been identified in this talk. The first problem is inference of gene regulatory network, means some genes, they create a network to cause some function. They influence each other, means they influence themselves and cause something. That is we have to find the gene regulatory network. And another problem is critical gene selection. There is thousands of genes in our body. So we have to find a few genes out of them which are critical, means which are culprit. And in inference of GRN in this problem, we have used, suppose, single objective optimization and both multi-objective optimization also. So in inference of GRN, we have used single objective optimization. That can be used also. Means in general, I am telling that multi-objective optimization can also be used. And in critical gene selection, both can be used. Single objective optimization and multi-objective optimization, both can be used. But mostly works are in single objective optimization in critical gene selection. So let us have an introduction to AI search. Basic introduction. Search means searching for solution, and solution means a configuration. A configuration of a set of variables, and each variable has a domain of values. From that domain, we have to assign values to the variables. Means a solution means a tuple. If there are n variables, the solution means an n tuple. Which n tuple is the best, that we have to search. So each solution means each n tuple is called a state. So when all possible n tuples are considered, means a collection of n tuples that create a space that is called state space, a space where all possible states are scattered. And in that space of states, we are going to search for a particular state or states known as goal state. So this is the challenge, that how do we search this goal state? For example, we know that chessboard problem. In chessboard problem, each configuration of the chessboard at any time when play is going on, at any time it has a configuration, and that configuration is a state. Okay. So total possible configurations, total number of possible configurations will be very huge number. That is 10 to the power 120 configurations. So in those configurations, some configurations are there which denote the checkmate configuration. Okay. Goal state corresponds to any checkmate configuration. So we have to reach that checkmate configuration in this problem. So from this problem, we can imagine that the state space, we can get the point that state space may be very large and searching is really a challenge. A very small problem to have a clear idea, water jug problem. Suppose there are two water jugs and one's capacity is 4 gallon and other's capacity is 3 gallon. So water can be transferred from one jug to another. It can be pumped. You can pour water from the jug also. These operations are allowed. So state means here 4 gallon and 3 gallon, there are two jugs. So what are the variables involved? Variables are x1 and x2. So y means actually x2, suppose. So in first jug, there are 5 possibility of values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because the jug may be empty, that means 0. Jug can contain 1 gallon. So there are 5 possibilities 1, 2, 3, 4. And the second jug may contain 0, 1, 2, 3 gallons. Okay. So for each variable, means for x1 variable, the domain is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. For x2 variable, the domain is 0, 1, 2, 3. So our action will be to assign a value from x1 domain to x1 and a value from x2 domain to x2. So x1 and x2 are assigned a value from their respective domains. So how many pairs can be formed? So you see that there will be 20 pairs. So you can take 0 from first and 0 from second, then 0, 0. 0 from first, 1 from second, that is 0, 1 pair. 0 from, so in this way, you can form 20 configurations, means 20 states. This is an example of states. Okay. And state space means set of all possible ordered pairs, x1, x2. So assigning all possible values to x and y means starting from the start state to find the goal state, means we are searching the goal state starting from the start state. So let us define the start state and goal state. So suppose start state is 0, 0. You can take any state to be start state, and you can define any state to be the goal state. Then the problem is you have to move from start state to goal state through some steps. How to decide the steps? That is the challenge in search technique. So how to decide the moves from one state to another? This is the challenge. And on the basis of this challenge, different methods have been discovered. So there is a possibility of blind search, means you can explore all possible ordered pairs, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. In this way, you leave no stone unturned. You take each and every possibility. That is called exhaustive search, right? DFS, BFS. Okay. This type of search is called blind search. This type of search is called blind search because you are following blindly the all possible steps. So the advantage of this search is it is complete in nature, because if solution exists, means if the goal state exists, definitely it will find. But its complexity is very high and it is exponential for NP-hard problems. So for the small size of problem, blind search is okay. But in practice, in reality, the problem size is very large. That's why blind search is very slow in execution. So we go for heuristic search. So in heuristic search, in movement, we don't take all possibilities, means all, it is not exhaustive, it is based on some information about the state space. So where you know the problem details, if you know the problem details, you can decide your movements, okay, on the basis of information you have about your problem. That is called heuristic information. The information is called heuristic information, which help you to decide the next step. Normally evaluates a function called heuristic function for the next step. The disadvantage of this is it is incomplete in nature because it is jumping, not considering all possible solutions. It is not exhaustive. That's why it can miss the goal state. It can miss the optimal solution state. So it is incomplete. But what is the advantage of it? It can produces a near optimal solution in reasonable time, which is not available in blind search. So what is the benefit in our heuristic search? It can produce a near optimal solution in reasonable time. An example is, suppose you know that traveling salesman problem. So when you were constructing a path, one city to another, how to decide the next city? Because you know that you have to do it in minimum time or minimum distance. So you have to consider the nearest unvisited city next. For a next step means to add the next city, you will consider who is the nearest unvisited city to the current one. Okay. This information is available. That's why you can use this information to select the next city without using blind search. Okay. This is the advantage of heuristic information. So there are two types of heuristics. One type is called construction heuristic, means the tuple is created step by step, build solution step by step without backtracking. So you are adding states, not states, you are adding components x1, x2, x3, etc. Means value of x1, value of x2, value of x3, etc. one by one. Add solution components until a complete solution is generated. Suppose in network routing, so you know the start node, you know the goal node, you want to find the optimal path, then you have to choose who will be the next node to get finally the optimal path. So you are adding node after node to form the path. That is construction heuristic. And when you are adding node after node, you are using some heuristic information, which node to select as the next node. Okay. Which component to add next is decided by some heuristic information. In TSP, similarly, a solution is built adding city after city. In network routing, node after node. In TSP, traveling salesman problem, it is city after city. So in this way, you are constructing a solution. This is called construction heuristic. And local search is your states are scattered in the space. So your states are scattered in the space. So you are moving from state to state, like water jug problem, based on exploration of neighborhood solutions. Means you are in a current state. State is a solution. Okay. You are not constructing solution. You are in a solution, but there are all possible solutions. You have to select the next solution, means next state, based on exploration of neighborhood solutions. So local search means you are searching the locality, means your neighborhood points, your neighborhood states. So local search is based on neighborhood search, try to improve the current solution by local changes. So you are changing your solution locally to some extent, to minimum extent, so that you can get a neighborhood solution. But you are if you are greedy about it, that if you have decided that you will move to that neighborhood solution which is better than the current solution, if you are greedy about this, then this is called hill climbing or descent method. The problem is that you can stuck to a local optima, because sometimes you will see that your current solution is uh, is better than all the neighborhood solutions. You are actually searching through, you are exploring the state space. You can go somewhere where all the neighborhood solution is worse than your current solution, and you have decided that I will move to the better solution only, not worse solution. I will not accept any worse solution. Then there is no question of moving, because you will be stuck to that point, stuck to that state, because all the neighborhood states are worse than your current state. But the global optimal solution, this is called local optimal solution, when all the neighborhood points are worse than your current solution. This may be a local optimal solution, maybe a global also, but if it is local optimal solution, you are stuck to there, but you want to get the global optima. That's why you have to come out of that point. You are stuck to a local optima, you have to come out of it, because global optima is waiting for you somewhere other point in the space. Okay. A meta heuristics is to overcome this problem. Meta heuristics has come. It is a general purpose heuristic, because in normal heuristics, your heuristic function is defined by your problem, because that is problem specific information. So depending on problem specific information, you are taking a move. Okay. But that technique, that particular algorithm will be applicable to that problem only, not other problems. But meta heuristics can be applied to many other problems, all types of problems. And this is not based on any problem specific information. Okay. This is designed to guide heuristics towards promising regions of the search space containing high quality solutions. So it is such a method that it will guide you in a direction where you will get better and better solutions, not problem specific, can be applied to a wide variety of optimization problems. And this has a property, means this has a facility that it can escape from local optima, which is a very very difficult thing, because local optima is a great problem to these heuristic techniques. So in meta heuristics, there is a provision that there is a potential that it can escape from local optima. But this is not guaranteed, but there is a potential. It escapes. Okay. Does not guarantee to produce optimal solution, because the method is incomplete. Incomplete means if there is some optimal solution, as it is jumping solutions, means as it is not blind search, means exhaustive search, that's why it can miss the optimal solution also. But it is guaranteed that it will give you some near optimal solution in a reasonable time. And this search is based on intensification and diversification. Intensification is go to better and better points, and diversification is you are actually randomizing your search. You are not considering better points, because if you consider always better points, then you will definitely stuck to local optima. To come out from the local optima, to escape from the local optima, diversification is required. So you will accept worse solution also with some probability. That provision is there in meta heuristics, so that it can rescue you from stucking to local optima. So here stopping criteria are, you can stop after maximum number of iterations, and you can stop number of iterations without improvement of objective. You will observe that for last hundreds or thousands of iteration, no improvement has been made. Then you can stop. And if you reach the pre-specified threshold value of cost, then also you can stop. Okay. So simulated annealing is a method, meta-heuristic method. Here, it's inspired by some natural process, means it is in metallurgy, used in metallurgy. Heating a metal means it goes to molten state and then freezing to crystallized state. So while freezing, the cooling is very, means controlled cooling. So cooling is very slow. If you use slow cooling, then only crystal formation will be perfect. Otherwise, it will be imperfect crystal. Imperfect crystal stands for uh, more energy state, and perfect crystal stands for minimum energy state. So if the function, objective function is energy and you have to minimize it, then you have to go for controlled cooling or slow cooling. Then only crystal will be perfect and energy will be minimum. Okay. So we are actually taking this idea and applying in general in a heuristic method, which is called simulated annealing. And here, this is also a neighborhood solution. Neighborhood technique replaces the current solution by a random nearby solution based on cost. Means the solution, current solution has some cost, which is C, and the neighborhood solution, which is selected randomly from the neighborhood, has a cost C prime. And your control parameter, you are controlling the temperature. Control parameter is called temperature here. So you are controlling your parameter in selection process. Okay. So accept worst solution with a probability to escape local optima. This facility is here available. So it is not hill climbing or descent method where the local optima problem is severe. It solves that problem by accepting worst solution with some probability. So, and allows more worst solution at the beginning to increase the exploration capability. Because if the control parameter is your temperature, so if you take temperature high initially, then the probability of accepting worst solution will be more. And when you are decreasing your temperature, the probability of accepting worst solution is decreasing. That means your solution is freezing. Okay. So initially we need more worst solution to be explored because we don't know in which area of the search space our goal state or goal solution or optimal solution is waiting for us. So here it is a formal description. Their parameters, temperature actually initialized, and solution means you will start from a randomly generated solution. So pick a then randomly solicited generation, suppose S, and your best solution is stored in S star, and your S prime is taken from your neighborhood NS, and you are comparing whether if S prime means your objective function, if it is a minimization problem, then your objective function value should be less than your current objective solution value Fs. If it is like that, then if the bit is better, then you can move, okay, directly. And if it is not better, if your neighborhood solution is not better than your current solution, means if S prime means function value of S prime is not less than Fs, then you will accept S prime. Still you will accept S prime as a new solution, means you are accepting the worst solution S prime with a probability. That probability is defined by some function which contains T, S and S prime. Based on T means temperature control parameter, S and S prime, that probability function has been defined. So normally it is taken as e to the power minus delta by T. Delta is the difference in cost of S and S prime. So it's a function of T, S and S prime, and every time at every iteration you will compare your function value, the current function value, with the stored function value which is stored as so far west solution. So S star is the solution so far west. So if your current solution means your solution is better than that solution, then ester is modified. You update your temperature and finally return your ester, which is the so far based solution. So it is stored in ester. And another method based on neighborhood search is taboo search. And in taboo search, what you will do that you will accept from the neighborhood the best solution. You will take the best solution from the neighborhood and you will move to that. But that will create your local optima problem. That's why a taboo list is taken where all the solutions taken is preserved. You are memorizing, that is acting like a memory, that in your memory you are remembering which solution you took in previous state or in last 5 states, okay, or 10 states, those are stored in your list. That is stored because you don't want to repeat that state again. So that's why it is stored. You don't want to repeat them in near future. Okay. So this taboo list is working as a remedy to rescue from the local optima problem. It is actually opposing to take the same solution again and again. So this is the formal presentation of taboo search. The initial solution is taken randomly and some variable is taken a star to preserve the so far based solution, and function is there, objective function is there. You are calculating the objective function value and you are selecting the arg mean, means from your neighborhood of S. That is the best one from the neighborhood. You are moving to that solution and you are record taboo for the current move in T. T is a taboo list, and delete the oldest entry if necessary. Because if your taboo list has length 5, then you can you can preserve only 5 last elements, means 5 last moves. You can preserve those 5 moves, means will not be taken in near future. Afterwards, actually after 5 moves, when the 6th one will come, then last one will go out, means it is first in and first out. Okay, it's a, this taboo list is taken as a queue. Who was first in, he will be first out. Now I am coming to our application area. So I have given a very preliminary picture of meta-heuristic or search techniques, AI search techniques, to have an idea about AI search. And now actually I should introduce you where we are going to use. We are going to use in genetics. So as the precision agriculture concept has come, so precision medicine concept also has come, because people are thinking about individual medicine, because we individuals have different genes, means gene expressions, not genes, okay, means gene behaviors, okay. So according to gene behavior, suppose genes are biomarker, and according to your biomarker, your disease is according to your biomarker, and for that biomarker, the drug design will be taken. Okay, drug will be designed on the basis of biomarker, that is individualistic approach. Okay, now medicines are common to everybody for some disease, but afterwards when precision medicine will come, the medicine will be individualistic, and that will depend on the biomarker of that particular patient. Okay, so gene can be taken as a biomarker. There are other biomarkers also. So what is the central dogma in molecular biology? So there is chromosome, and you see that this part, it is a part of chromosome which is a DNA. Okay, And in DNA is double helical structure, and the some portion is called intron and some portion are called exon. And you see that in next step in transcription process, transcription means you are copying a strand in your copybook. Suppose this is your copybook. Okay, this is called precursor mRNA. You are copying from your strand here. It's copying the symbols. Means symbols are ATGC, adenine, guanine, so thymine, cytosine. These are actually along these strands are there. It is not written here. So you are actually copying those ATGC bases. Those are called bases. You are copying your bases from your uh, uh, from one strand, okay, coding strand, and you are copying here, okay. And then actually this is pre-mRNA. Then intron part is cut out, okay. So this is called splicing. After splicing, so after transcription, you are getting this strand, which is mRNA, precursor mRNA. And after splicing, introns are out, only exons are connected together. This is called mRNA. This contains the code, okay, code for gene expression. Gene expression means gene will produce protein. Protein means a chain of amino acids. So which amino acid will come? So this is the chain of amino acids. You see, this is the protein. You see, this is protein. This is the chain of amino acids. And which amino acid will come? Then which amino acid will come to form this chain? That depends on the code written here in mRNA. So mRNA is the source of, means constructing the protein, means it will supply the, it will instruct which amino acid will come to join to form this protein chain, okay. So finally we see that, so our DNA, actually DNA is the storehouse of codes that is expressed as proteins. Here it is showing how what are the actually symbols, means base symbols. That is C means cytosine, G guanine, U for uracil, A for adenine. So this is the mRNA chain which we saw earlier. So this is the mRNA chain. This mRNA chain is shown here. You see that these are mRNA chain, and consecutive 3 is a code, okay. And there are these are called codons, and each codon stands for a amino acid, and that tRNA will carry some amino acid. This mate, this is the amino acid, it will carry, and it will match to some code. This is anticodon and this is codon. This anticodon will match to some codon. So I'm not going to the details. So when it will match to that codon, this amino acid mate, okay, will be deposited here, and in this way, this, when it will propagate, this is the ribosome, small unit, subunit of ribosome, it will actually causing this whole thing. So in presence of this ribosome, so one by one amino acid will come according to one by one codon. Codon means triplet. Okay, a triplet is a codon. So one by one amino acid will come and join together, and finally you will get that polypeptide chain. This is the chain of amino acids. Okay, this is called translation. So transcription is from DNA to RNA, and translation is from RNA to protein. So gene means actually that DNA part from where mRNA, means RNA, has been formed after splicing. Gene is a basic unit of heredity in any living cell and also a part of DNA. So gene encodes information to produce all required proteins. So which protein will be formed or which protein will be constructed, that information, that guidance is in gene only. Okay. And proteins control and manage the functionalities in living body. Protein is all in all. Actually, protein is any our biological activity, biochemical reaction or anything in our body that is actually governed by, controlled by protein only. So protein is the most important thing, and that protein is created from gene. And created from gene means which codes are there in gene. So codes determine the protein. The amount of gene expression is called protein level. So gene expression means if you want to measure gene expression, then you have to measure the protein level. Okay. So the technology here used is called DNA microarray technology. That is out of our scope now. So it is in short, DNA is there. By transcription process, mRNA is formed. By translation process, protein is formed. Okay. So expression of genes means expression of protein control lively activities that I have already told. Now our challenge is analysis of the data. Okay. So your gene data is huge and amount of protein production is determined by molecules in certain environmental conditions. So the translation of protein, whether protein will be less or protein will be more or sufficient, insufficient, how it is determined? It determines by the conditions like genetic mutation, signaling molecules, neighborhood cells, etc. Many things are there for controlling, means for influencing this function. Okay. Traditional computational approaches fail to find out the patterns in data. So these functions are going on, but our traditional computational approaches is slow in execution. Okay. Because the data is huge and function is also complex. Okay. Analysis of the data required to have biological insights. So until and unless we analyze this data, means analyze this transcription process or translation process, protein levels, etc., gene expression data, until we analyze, we don't have any biological insights. Means we don't have any insight who is causing which disease. Okay. What is the main reason behind this disease, etc. This is the basic place where the cause is hidden. So we are introducing here two problems: inference of gene regulatory network and identification of disease causing genes. Let's see what is microarray gene expression data. The data is given in a matrix form, which is available in your website. Different websites are there, biological websites, bioinformatics websites. You will get, it is available always. There are many websites like this. So the rows are actually G1, G2, Gn. These are actually genes. And columns are C1, C2, etc. and Cm. There are M columns and N genes. So each entry here, you will see that each entry, X11, X12, X1, these are actually expression value, gene expression value. These are gene expression value. You see that, suppose you consider G1, in condition C1, its expression value is this. In condition C2, its expression value is different. Okay. In this way, this data is available from a technology which is called microarray gene expression technology, microarray technology. And we don't have to bother about that. This data is available in this form. Okay. Condition means there are two types of data available. Means at different times may be different conditions. And pathological state. Suppose normal people or diseased people. So if the data is taken from normal people, then the expression will be something, and if it is taken from the sample is taken from diseased person, then data will be some different. Okay, so time step is one condition. In different times, if you take data at different times, different time steps, then that plays as a condition. And if you take data from different samples, S1, S2, etc., then that is called a steady state data, which is pathological state. That data is of two types: time series data and steady state data. So gene regulatory network means, suppose G1, gene G1, it forms some RNA, okay, then forms some protein P1, okay. This P1 protein, now actually it will act. Protein is behind all activities, so it will act. One of its action is it will influence another gene G2. It may influence another gene G2 to express, means it will enhance the expression of G2. Then G2 will create some RNA, and that will create some protein, and that protein also can influence other gene. So in this way, we will observe that there, means people have observed, the researchers have observed that there is a network of genes. Okay, so G1, that arrow means influences G2, G2 influences G3, G3 to G4, G2, G4, etc. In this way, they form a network which is called gene regulatory network. So gene regulatory network, to understand gene regulatory network is very much important in drug design. Okay, so you have to identify those genes who are causing something, forming a group. So these GRN parameters means, as you have a network, so amount of influence varies. So means these connections are influences, and influence have a value, that is weight factor. So different connection has different weight factors. And if the weight factors is, suppose the gene I is influenced by gene J, what is the amount of influence, measure of influence, that is Wij, which it can be positive, means it influences to produce more protein. It can be negative, it influences to produce less protein. And when it is 0, then it is not influencing at all. There are some other parameters, like electric circuit, there is a bias voltage. Here also some bias, means weight factor. When if expression of genes without any regulation, the gene is not regulated by other, then it has some bias value. Okay. And there is a time parameter tau, that is response time to be influenced by other genes. These things are considered, these parameters means Wij, Pi and tau I. These are the parameters involved in gene regulatory network. And inference of GRN means, the problem is assignments of values to parameters. So at the beginning, I have told that in search problem, you have to assign values to the variables. Here variables means parameters. And these parameters have a domain of values. From that domain of values, you have to assign the values so that some function is minimized or maximized. That is the objective function. So the framing the optimization problem is always same. Okay. So this is framed as optimization problem and also a search problem. You see, this is the network, and these are the Wij parameters, this table. This is Bi, means Bi parameters, bias parameters. This is the response time parameters. So if parameters means actually what is the domain? So domain is defined that it will be between So domain is defined for each W factor or BI factor or tau I. Domain is defined, and you are actually taking some random solution initially. Initially, you take these values randomly from that domain, and you will find some x prime value, means you are considering the gene I, and gene expression is denoted by xi prime at t plus delta t, means at the next time step, which is determined by this equation. This is actually neural network equation. If you know neural network, this is actually recurrent neural network modeling. So this is the accumulated value. This is the function, activation function, and this is the value, expression value at time t. So this is the expression value, means actually Wij means the nodes, j nodes, all the j nodes influencing I, their accumulation of influence is the summation of this Wij x prime jt plus bi. So this is the value of expression value of the ith node at t plus delta t. Okay. And this activation function is a linear sigmoid function. Its shape is like this. Its expression is like this. And the at time series value you will obtain. Now, for each time series value, suppose you have a ground truth. Suppose this network is already discovered in the laboratory, and they have discovered the time step values at each time step. Now you will compare that original value with your simulated value. So this is the original value xit. This is the simulated value. You are taking the difference, taking squares, and you are summing over all the genes and then all the time steps. Okay. This will give you the cost, means how much you are deviated from your original value. That is the cost value. So you want to minimize this cost because you want to simulate this network. So how to simulate? You are adjusting these parameter values. You don't know what are the parameters. You are starting from an random values. Okay. And from by step, you are calculating this cost, means deviation from your original value, and you are minimizing this cost using some meta heuristic technique. That is the idea behind GRN. Okay, so it means inference of GRN. You are actually inferring GRN means this is a flow chart for this, means you are calculate expression levels, calculate cost. Is the parameter set cost effective? Means if the cost is minimized, no. Then you update your parameters and go to, once again you calculate your expression values. You will go through this loop, and finally, if the parameter set cost effective, means you have reached the stopping criteria, then you come out and output the gene regulatory network, output GRN. So simulated annealing, as we have discussed, can be used in this problem. And here, what we need actually, so initial solution is available because you can take the parameter set randomly. Okay, that is initial solution, that is candidate solution. Okay. Perturbation means you are going to perturb, means you are going to neighborhood solution. So whatever value is there, you can perturb, you can change by -2, -1, 1, 2. Small changes you can take and go to the neighborhood solution. When the neighborhood solution is generated, you can calculate the cost, and you go through loops, and finally your output GRN will come out. Okay. This is in short the application of simulated annealing. This is the framework actually. In taboo search also you do the same thing, because the initial solution means candidate solution is available. You go to your neighborhood, you generate some neighborhoods and not only one neighborhood. In case of simulated annealing, you generated only one neighborhood by perturbation. You can define a size of neighborhood, and you can generate that number of neighborhood points using this -2, -1, 1, 2 incremental changes, and you take the best one from your neighborhood. Then as per your taboo search, take the taboo list, etc. Whatever described in your taboo search, you go through those steps and you calculate your cost. And when the cost is minimized, you can output your GRN. So one thing in research work, actually, suppose simulated annealing is already available. It is old method. So what we can do, we can generate, we can suggest some variants of assay which will be more powerful than basic assay, basic simulated annealing. So such variations can be made means on simulated annealing. There are 3 variations: greedy simulated annealing, taboo simulated annealing, greedy taboo simulated annealing, GSA, TSA, and GTSA. So in GSA, some greediness has been incorporated. So in this problem, greediness means, actually biologists say that the parameters, means the weight parameters, in maximum cases, the weight parameters are 0 in most of the cases. So if we always are greedy to make the most of them, so 30% in some perturbation, selected element of solution set to 0. So if we define this 30% or 20%, so then we are greedy, means we are forcing to make them 0. This is a greediness. And if we apply this, we can get better results, because this is related to increases biological plausibility, because biology supports this greediness. As biology supports this, you can apply some greediness in your simulated annealing. That will be a variant of your simulated annealing. TSA means you can apply the taboo list in simulated annealing. That will also help you, means that will strongly help you to escape from local optima. You can remember some solutions and you keep them in the taboo list, what is available in taboo search. So taboo search can be combined with simulated annealing. That will create a new variant, TSA, and the TSA will be more effective than basic assay. And if you incorporate both GSA and TSA, then you will get GTSA. Both greediness and taboo list concept is incorporated. Then it will give you better result that is tested. I am showing you some figure. You see that these colors are actually for different variants, stands for different variants. This red one is original. Original means the ground truth, the biologically available one network. Okay. So we are actually trying to be closer to the biological thing, biological expression values. So your gene 1, suppose this is 4-gene network, which is ground truth network. And in 4-gene network, so in first gene, your simulated values are different colors. Red one is actually original color. In first gene, these x-axis is time steps. With time, the red one is available, I mean original is available, and you are finding simulated values, which are, you have to observe which one is closer to that. Okay, then that method is more acceptable. That is the test. Okay, the which one is more closer to the original. In this gene 2, all are actually almost coincides. Okay, in gene 3, someone is means this all are actually closer compared to gene 1. Gene 1 and gene 4, it is like this. And observation shows that in some cases, simulated profile close to the original. Assay variants, not basic assay. Basic assay variants perform better than TS, taboo search. So BSA, TSA, basic simulated annealing, TSA is taboo simulated annealing, GSA, greedy simulated annealing, and GTSA, greedy plus taboo simulated annealing, and this is only taboo search. So you see that assay variants are better than taboo, and in only one case, taboo is better. Okay, gene 4. In gene 4, taboo is better. So actually, I am giving you this idea that this type of research is going on, okay, in this area. So there are a lot of scope to find different meta heuristics, different variants. Yeah, I can test on the ground truth or other benchmark functions, etc. So particle swarm optimization is another method. It can also be used because these two methods, what we have already discussed, these are actually uh, mm, single solution based, and this is actually multiple solution based, which is called population of solutions. Okay, so in particle swarm optimization, uh, this is based on the movement and intelligence of swarm of birds, fishes, and others. There are particles, they are moving in the search space together. Okay. And particle position means is a solution. Okay. Means there are multiple solutions scattered in the search space and they communicate with each other. That's why it is called swarm intelligence. They communicate, means collective intelligence is applied, searches for optima by updating positions of the particles at each iteration. Each particle position represents a candidate solution and they are sharing information, and before flying they share information where to fly, means what is the movement, what will be the next movement. That is the main criteria in all search techniques, and that is determined in this way that you see that how they are communicating, means how it is, why it is called swarm intelligence, because each uh, each particle is moving in its own way, because each particle has its own trajectory. Okay, so if it remembers its past solutions, it can remember the best one so far achieved, best one solution so far achieved in its trajectory. Okay, so that is called P based, means personal based. This is called P based, so P based one. Okay, and this is current position of that particle. And this P based is its personal based throughout its course of movements. Which one is best one? That is remembered. Okay, that remembered one is P based. And this G based means, so all particles are moving at any time, nth iteration, which which is the best among all solutions, among all particles. Okay, that is stored in G based. Okay. So when you are taking the next movement, means in n plus 1th iteration, you will get help from P based and G based. Means G based is the collective based, P based is the personal based, and P based minus current position, G based minus current position means your current position is attracted by P based and G based. Suppose there is a particle, two forces are acting on it. One force is P based, other force is G based. The particle will move to the resultant direction. If you consider it as vectors, okay, it's vector actually. So current position is a vector. This is a vector. This is one vector. The component wise actually you are subtracting. That means actually there is a particle where two forces are acting together. One is P based, its own based, and other is the global based, means collective based, and it is moving to the resultant direction. Okay. So in this way, current position is changed. Okay. So this is a type of movement. So different meta heuristic has different types of movements, and we have to see the performance of the meta heuristics, which one is good, which one is better and best, etc. That's why research is going on to design new meta heuristics. So we suppose some uh, uh, variant of, means PSO, means improvement, enhancement of PSO has been made, which is called repository and mutation based PSO. So some changes have been made here. What changes have been made? Suppose you have your personal waste. So this personal waste of the of some particle, okay, of ith particle, suppose, and this is the global waste. considering all particles. Suppose there is more than one personal best, value wise actually. Personal best means the best value, according to the best value of the objective function. There may be same personal best value for more than one solution. Okay, means more than one point in a particular particle. Particle has trajectory. It has suppose 10 previous points. Okay, it has 10 previous steps. Suppose in more than one steps the value was same and that is minimum. Then personal best value may be more than one. They are same, and global best also may be more than one and they are same. So you can make a repository to store the personal best value which are same in value, personal best which are same in value, and global best which are same in value. And you can choose randomly while using in this equation. That is the idea of repository. Okay, you can make a repository and randomly choose one of them to substitute in this equation. Then this will add some more exploration, means diversification. So this will give you better result, because early convergence means that is the problem of local optima. That is a big problem. So it will solve this problem to some extent. And another thing is that mutation. So you can, using repository, you can add some exploration or diversification to the method. And using mutation means what global best you have obtained, you can mutate it by Gaussian, Cauchy, or different functions. You can mutate, means some change only. Mutation means some random change. And that also will help you in diversification of the method or exploration of the search space. So these two modification has made this RMPSO variant, and this has worked better than basic PSO variant. So in our research, so in this research, this is one aspect that you can improve your meta heuristics. And other thing is that you are applying to the genetic data. That is, there are two things you can means you can do your research. One is actually you can design new meta heuristics. Another thing is you can apply it to different genetic data. Okay. And gene regulatory network, using gene regulatory network, the same problem can be solved, which we have already solved for that ground truth gene regulatory network. The same problem can be solved by this RMPS also. Okay. And the true positive, that positive predictive, etc. F1 score is the means metrics used to compare the results. And finally the network has been obtained, gene regulatory network for some data, final simulated topology, IRMA on, that is available data, that is IRMA off, that is available data. In these two benchmark data, it is applied and two networks have been outputted. Okay. And that is compared to the means already existing results. So it is promising result. It is giving promising results with respect to the state of art. Okay. And another thing, another variation also you can make, that instead of single objective function, you can take multi-objective function. Okay. In case of GRN, gene regulatory network, you can, your single objective was the deviation from the true value, means that is the cost value, cost function was there. You have to minimize the cost function, which is deviation from the original network. Okay. And you can add another thing, as biology suggests that that sparse network, in that sparse network means many weights will be zero. Okay. And zero is preferable weight. Okay. So you can try to minimize the number of zero weights, sorry, number of non-zero weights. number of zero weights is preferable. That's why you can minimize another objective function, which is number of non-zero values. Okay. So that is C2, a new objective function proposed. That is C2. That is actually your parameters, non-zero parameter. This is on non-zero parameter. This bracket is called Iverson bracket. It is 1 for if this is true. Means if it is non-zero, then it will give you 1 for gene 1. Means for this basal parameter 1, BI. And this is Wij. If it is non-zero, then it will contribute 1 to the first objective function, new objective function. So if you try to minimize both the objective function, one is cost and another is number of non-zero weights, then you will get the better gene regulatory network. It is expected. And in multi-objective meta-heuristics, actually, we obtain archive means some non-dominated solution, a set of solutions, and new perturbation strategy is required for this. That's why. Okay. And the basic version of this AMOSA GRN, that is archived multi-objective simulated annealing. Here your input is gene expression matrix. That same matrix, genes are rows and that conditions are columns. The same matrix is input here. Same problem actually. We are actually dealing with same problem by different methods, different ways. Okay. So candidate solution is got, the cost function is calculated in the same way. And then other objective function, that is the number of non-zero weights, that is also calculated. And you are actually generating solutions and you are finding a set of non-dominated solutions, which is called Pareto front. And then finally you are taking average and you are outputting your solution. And this is also applied in the same way, the ground truth network. And 10 times you have run, if you run 10, then 10 archives you will obtain. And this ensemble average will be taken on the archives. And then you will consider these parameters and you will compare with the state-of-the-art algorithms. So this also is very promising. And all these things have been actually, they are all are published works, okay, published in reputed journals. So this one is published in IEEE journal. So all are actually there in reference, you will get that, those all the references. And here also variants of AMOSA is possible. The same concept we have taken for SA, that GSA, TSA, etc. And these concepts may also be applied here for improving the performance of AMOSA. And it has really improved. And you will see that in some temperature decreasing concept, some change has been there. And in freezing concept, some change has been suggested. In freezing strategy, that is AMOC CSA, with tabulist also used, AMOT CSA, and both freezing strategy and tabulist strategy is used in AMOC C TSA. Okay. All these are tested on the benchmark instances. So these are the this is the benchmark instance, 4 gene time series, 7 gene in silico time series. These IRMA on, IRMA off, these are actually benchmark data sets. And here we have applied these variants of multi-objective simulated annealing techniques and got better result than the state of the art. Now the next problem is gene selection. The time is less, so that will take less time. Okay. Once again, we are coming to the same network, same data. That G1 is the G1, G2, G3. These are gene expression data. normal samples and diseased samples, taking from normal samples and diseased samples. And from these genes, n number of genes, suppose n is 40,000, okay, but all the genes are not responsible for a disease, okay. Suppose 30 genes or 20 genes, we want to obtain 20 genes, or we want to obtain 30 genes who are more responsible, okay. That is the work in gene selection. We have to choose a very small subset from this large set of genes who are culprits to causing some disease, okay. These are called critical genes. So how can we decide these genes? Because we have to observe their expressions. In normal case, what are the expression values? In diseased samples, what are the expression values? So on the basis of these expression values, we have to select that subset of genes which discriminate normal and diseased samples to find a subset of Q genes significant in discriminating normal and diseased samples with respect to gene expression. This is our data only. This is our information. On the basis of this information, we have to work. We have to see which subset of genes are discriminating between normal and diseased samples. So in this approach, actually, critical gene selection is viewed as an optimization problem, and the input is same, that the gene expression matrix input is same, always same. From this is the whole picture, means this is the main data, means suppose 40,000 data. From here, actually, a subset of matrix have been taken, sub-matrix have been taken. So subset of genes, suppose 30 or 20 is taken here from 40,000. So we have to we have to find out which subset is most effective in discriminating between normal and disease sample gene expression. So we have to find that subset. So how many subsets are possible? How many subsets are possible? Suppose if C40,000 is there, C40,000 30. Okay, these many possibilities are there. That is out of scope by deterministic method. Okay, so in this heuristic method, meta-heuristic method, we can select 30 out of 40,000 several times, and we can test which 30 which subset is most effective in discriminating between normal and diseased samples. That is the problem. Okay, and that's why we are using some classification technique, KNN method, and that is leave one out cross validation, where we are actually selecting a gene, and for each sample we are taking the distance, Euclidean distance from to that sample, which is test sample. Others are trained sample. We are calculating the Euclidean distance to the test sample from other trained samples, and we are finding 3 nearest values in Euclidean distance. So 3 nearest values. Now actually majority of 3, or majority of k equal to 3 or k equal to 5, or k value you can decide, and majority of k, if the class of majority of k neighbors is same as that of the test sample, then the test sample is classified. Okay, this is our criteria. So we are calculating Euclidean distance from a test sample to other samples, all are rest are trained samples. You are calculating Euclidean distances, and you sort them in decreasing, in increasing order, means you take 3 minimum values, and if the majority of k neighbors, means 3 neighbors, is same as that of the test sample, then the test sample is classified. And you can, for each gene, you can take this all the samples individually and test the whether it is classified or not. Okay, you count the number of classification, and you can find the classification accuracy number of properly classified samples divided by total number of samples into 100, that is classification accuracy. So if you take the subset, means this subset, this is the your candidate solution, and the objective function is classification accuracy. You need an objective function in optimization. So this is your objective function for any candidate solution. Your candidate solution is this one. This one is the candidate solution in subset. And for each subset, you can find this classification accuracy in this way. Then you can compare which one is better, which one is not, and you can move to the move through the search space. Then it has become a search technique. Okay, so search technique can be applied. So in this way, search techniques are applied. For example, ERS PSO. This is a PSO variant. This has been applied to this gene selection, and like ERS, in case of ERS PSO, this is a variant of PSO. So in this variant, some elitist particles, suppose 3 best particles have been selected. Then you generate new solutions by pairwise swapping. So if you swap among elite particles, then results also will be at elite class. But advantage is that you are getting some variations, okay, which will help you in exploration or diversification. Okay, so generate new solutions by pairwise swapping, compare new solutions with the existing G-waste means global waste, select the best solution among all, including the existing. So among all solutions, after swapping, you are getting new solutions, and actually you compare the G-waste, new G-waste will be obtained. Then you can perturb that selected G-waste and you take the better one. Okay, this is another variation of PSO, which is called elitist random swapped PSO. Okay, so some data sets are shown here: preeclampsia disease data set, preeclampsia Down syndrome. Many other data sets also are there, but I have not presented here. And for suppose these data sets, disease data sets have been taken, and we have run this program, and finally results are some genes. Suppose in preeclampsia dataset, some genes like this mentioned in this way have been identified. Sorry, these genes have been identified, and most interestingly, these genes have been identified biologically also, because these are reported genes, and we have obtained these genes from our methods. Okay, and we have obtained some more genes also, more genes which is not yet reported, but these more genes actually will lead you further research, further investigation. In Down syndrome also, some genes have been identified which are already reported in biology literature, and in BCCL actually here also many genes we have obtained which are same as reported genes, and some genes are more obtained which can be which has potential to be investigated clinically. Lung disease. So this I have reported here this disease and what results have been obtained. This will show you that this is a potential area of research. So in conclusion, AI techniques and their applications to the problems in genetics. This is our means today's lecture, and many new variants of meta heuristics proposed, and many more new variants you can also propose. Okay, there is scope for proposal, and 2 problems have been taken: inference of GRN, that is recurrent neural network formulation is taken. There are other formulations also you can work on. Bayesian formulation also is there. Achha. And single objective, we some these methods have been taken, but there is a scope of, but we have taken other methods also, we have not listed here. Multi-objectives also, there are scope. There is no end of scope actually. Scope is actually infinite. And in critical gene selection also, there are many other methods also can be taken. So for presentation purpose, I have selected some methods here. And conclusion, other points are actually when you are proposing some meta heuristics, you have to test on benchmark functions, which is CEC benchmark functions, mathematical functions. That is a test bed actually. Otherwise, people will not accept your work. So you have to prove your new meta heuristics on CEC benchmark functions. Then you can apply disease data. First, you have to test here that your method is better than the state of the art. Then you can apply to disease data sets. So, and many genes have been identified here. And future scope is design new variant of meta heuristics for more efficient search, application to new data sets. And we have taken only gene expression data set. There are miRNA data sets, multi-omics data set. This can be taken also. Okay, our new data sets are coming. And this is actually a future paradigm, that precision medicine, which is coming next. Okay, and this gene acts as a biomarker. That's why in drug design, it is very much important for genetic diseases. Okay, so references are there. The colored references is our work, and others are different work. And thank you. If any question, you can ask.
So I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Sriyankar Acharya sir for delivering such an insightful and thought-provoking session on AI in computational genetics. Sir, your expertise and a deep understanding of this subject have truly enriched our knowledge and provided us with a fresh perspective on the role of AI in genetics research. So, sir, thank you once again for sharing your valuable time and expertise with us. So, participants, please let me know if you have any question. Please raise your hand. We will address one by one. Please raise your hand. And Subhasis sir, please make them they can unmute themselves. So please change the setting.
Yeah, I have already changed the setting. They can unmute themselves.
Yeah, Dr. Jagadish, please ask your question.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, can you explain the real-time example of meta heuristic?
Real-time?
Example.
Oh, no. Real-time example, our problem is steady state type. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are
steady state. We are actually working on steady state type. This genetics actually data is steady state type, because in real time you don't have any gene expression data. It is based on gene expression data, which is manufactured in laboratory. Then it is used. It is not like that in real time it is being manufactured. Okay. It is based on your manufactured data, na?
Yes, sir. Actually, COVID-19 gene data also manufactured, sir.
Yeah. It is a microarray gene expression data, means it's a technology. Okay. It is not available in our country also. I don't know where it is available, but gene expression data we always search in the websites actually. In which laboratory it is made, I don't know. In our country, I have heard that it is in Bangalore, maybe one lab for this. But many labs are not there in our country. Okay, maybe some labs. Okay, but real time is not possible. Okay.
Dr. Ramesh, do you have any question?
Good evening, sir.
Hello, Ramesh.
Sir, actually, gene is nowadays is most popular for the research purpose. So my question is that how can I apply in IoT environment?
IoT?
Yes, sir.
IoT is real time based, na?
Yes, sir. But sometime I saw in most of the paper, some of the paper is they are using the genetics algorithm, meta heuristic algorithm in IoT environment.
Yeah. Meta heuristics can be used in IoT. The first thing is that Meta heuristics can be used in IoT, but real-time means gene-related data is not means fit for IoT.
So we cannot be mapping between them that the IoT is not real time. IoT is a real time data, but Jane is that not real time. So anyhow, we can mapping both of them for our research purpose.
Actually, I think suppose you see what I have described in genetics, you have already marked that how gene is created, how gene expression is going on. Then actually, what happens that gene for to get that gene expression data, it's a matter of huge labor actually, because there are robotic means activities required, because those are very fine data, microarray data, na. So microarray technology is involved, so that take a long time, because it cannot be real time.
Okay, sir. So it is very
Got the
difficult
point, because
to.
that microarray technology has several steps. Okay. And that robotic technology is used to prepare that gene expression data. It is not so simple. Okay. Because 40,000 suppose genes are there and their expression have been considered. So that is a very fine experimental data.
So, sir, just another question in mind that, sir, so if I suppose I give a new idea for the new era, so for using the gene encryption, which type of the application area we can propose?
In genetics?
Yeah, in genetics.
So in gene is not a subject actually. In genetics actually, now actually new areas are coming. So protein interaction, mRNA means biomarker. New concepts are actually coming out, because what I have mentioned, that the paradigm of precision medicine. So in the world of medicine, that will create a revolution, because individual treatment will be there. The same medicine cannot be used for all of us actually. In homeopathy actually it is maintained, but in allopathy we all take the same medicine for same disease. But each individual has its own biomarkers. If you consider their biomarkers, individual biomarkers, then medicine concept will change. That is called precision medicine. Okay. So this thing is coming, means actually there is a lot of scope of work in this area.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And nice to talk to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have another question in the chat box from Mr. Amlan C, that he's asking what will happen when the goal state information are not available in heuristic search.
Oh, that is actually, I have told in gene regulatory network. But in gene selection, that is not required. What is your question? Tell me.
So the question is, what will happen when the goal state information are not available in heuristic search?
Core state means actually what it means, I think, ground truth network or like that. Some ground truth data is used to simulate the weights of the network. Okay. When the weights have been found on the basis of your ground truth, then it can be used in other problem also, in other data also. That need not be the ground truth data. Using the ground truth, you can simulate your network and you can find the weights, tune your weights, and that weights will act maybe useful for other data, which is not ground truth data. That is the idea. That's why simulating the gene regulatory network, in case of gene selection, that ground truth is not required. Okay, the only gene expression data is okay.
We have another participant is asking, please go ahead. Tanmay Roy Chaudhary, please go ahead. Ask your question.
Good evening, sir. This is Tanmay Roy
Yes.
Chaudhary.
Yes.
Sir, from your lecture on this gene networking, sir, if I got it correctly, then the rows are representing different genes and the columns are representing either conditions that is diseased or fine genes, or it might be with time, sir.
Yes, yes. In case of gene regulatory network, we take time
Yes.
series data. In case of gene
Yes.
selection, we take pathological state, means steady state data. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, for then gene networking, the example for gene networking, I was thinking, sir, then we have a spatio-temporal data set. That is, if I consider the rows to be my space and the columns to be my time, then, sir, is it a good idea to apply the dynamic mode decomposition, DMD, for this and predict the gene expression for the next time steps for different genes? Will it be possible, sir?
See, first thing is that it may be the time series data, but it is also manufactured. Okay. It is real time concept is not available here. Okay. I think you are asking on the basis of real time.
No, sir. Let's say we have 100 time series, the gene expression data for 100 times. Let us say, for an example, I take the first 70 or 75, the matrix of all that, and I predict for the next 5 periods of time. And check.
Then you are asking in the light of machine learning.
Yes, sir. In the light of machine learning, this DMD will tell me the coherences in time as well as the coherences between different genes. It will give me this dynamic mode decomposition, will give me the coherences that are there. What you are referring to as weights, that is, one gene is affecting the expression of other gene. These coherences, underlying coherences, will reflect what are the interactions between different genes, as well as if the DMD simulation is good enough, then probably for the next 5 or 10 time steps, it might predict each and every gene expression. So we can try it and see that whether it is predicting the gene expressions correctly.
Now,
Sir, can it be done?
See, for that actually you need some data for other time steps. No? What you are asking, that future time steps. You are talking about that future time steps. What will be the value, or we can predict the value or not? That is your question. Okay, for future time.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can apply this. I think this can be applicable, but you have to justify also. Na? You have to validate that whether it is giving you a correct result or not. How can you validate this?
No, sir. That was what I'm saying.
That can be proposed, but
yeah. Instead of taking all the 100 time series data, I take the first 70 and then predict the next 5, which is already there. The benchmark is already there. From the DMD algorithm, I predict the next 5 and check with the benchmark gene expression values. If they are matching,
you can check. Finally, your output will be the weight values. Okay, you are interested in determining the weights, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Weight factors. Only you are interested in weight factors. So you will get the weight factors. Okay, you can justify your weight factors. That's all.
Okay, sir. And sir, you mentioned that there is a benchmark where we need to first check our results and then apply to the data sets. Sir, what is that?
That is actually I'm talking that. Suppose there is ground truth data with respect to which I am actually minimizing the cost. Cost is actually deviation between original and your simulated. Okay. So cost means how much you are deviated from the original. That is cost. Okay. Then
yes, sir. That I got. But in the last slide of yours, you mentioned some CEC website or something like that where you need to.
CEC. Showing you this. Okay. I am showing you. Yes. Oh no, this one. Sorry. Where is that? Somewhere
Sir, probably in the last few slides.
Oh yes,
second last one.
In conclusion, I think. Okay. No. The CEC concept I'm telling you. What is CEC benchmark?
Sir, I think it was after gene selection, after all this. It was in the conclusion only, sir.
It
Maybe.
was in the conclusion. Acha, acha. Conclusion. First conclusion. Second. Oh, yes, here it is. CEC
Yes, sir.
benchmark
Yes, sir.
functions, yes. That I am telling you. See, CEC is a platform where they define the mathematical benchmark functions, different mathematical functions, very difficult functions to test the performance of meta-heuristics. Okay. And CEC 2005, CEC 2014, CEC 2020, now actually CEC 2022 is running. They are actually making it is more and more difficult, these functions. And they want to see whether your proposed meta-heuristic can perform well or not. Okay, that is a test bed. When you are proposing some meta-heuristics, you have to test on CEC benchmark functions. If it is better than the existing, means the state of the art, then only you can your paper will be accepted. Okay. Otherwise, actually, why you will apply this to the disease data sets? First thing, actually, you have to design some very good meta heuristics, means which is with respect to the state of the art. Then you apply in the disease data sets. Okay. There are
Okay, sir.
two challenges are there.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, participants. If you are having any other question, I will share sir's email ID. Please email sir. And sir, thank you, sir, once again for your time
Thank
and
you.
for this nice session. So with this, we conclude our session 5 for day 3, and we will move on. So before that, we'll just take a short break of 3 minutes, and sharp we'll start at 7:45 sharp. So please keep connected. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Can I
Thank you,
leave
sir.
now? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
So welcome back. So we now move on to our next distinguished speaker. We already have with us Mr. Tuhin Kumar Mukherjee. So he shall be delivering a session on data architecture and analytics in healthcare. So Mr. Mukherjee's expertise in this field will definitely provide us valuable insights into the role of data-driven AI solutions in smart healthcare. Mr. Mukherjee is currently working as senior data architect in Capgemini, India, and having more than 18 plus years of experience. He completed his BTech in Information Technology and MTech in Radio Physics and Electronics from University of Calcutta. His core strengths are on the subjects of data architecture, data modeling, ETL development, data warehousing, and database design. His experience includes working in the banking, insurance, telecommunication, life sciences, healthcare, airlines, and retail domain. So let us welcome Mr. Mukherjee. Can you hear me? Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, we welcome you in this session 6 of day 3 of this ATAL FDP. Sir, now the session is handed over to you. You may please start.
Give me one moment, please.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so let me share my slide as well. So are you able to see my slide?
Yes, sir, we can see it. Please make it full screen so it will be the visibility would be better. Just a slideshow mode.
One second, please. I am.
Just go to slideshow and start from beginning. The slideshow tab after animations.
It is okay?
No, sir, it's not.
Okay, give me one moment, please.
Sure, sure.
Okay, I think now it is okay.
Yes, sir. It's now it's showing.
Sorry for that. So hello all. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per your location. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Suparna Vishwas and Dr. Sohil Sarif of MAKAUT to provide me this opportunity to present this session. I would also like to thank other faculty of Department of Computer Science and Engineering of Maulana Azad University of Technology. So as Dr. Sohil said, today I am going to start on architecture and analytics in healthcare. So before starting, Sohil has given a brief introduction about me. Let me introduce myself as well. This is my photo. And my name is Tuhin Kumar Mukherjee. As a qualification, I have done BTech and MTech from University of Calcutta. I have around 18 plus years of experience, IT experience. I have worked in various organizations like Capgemini. Currently, I'm working in Capgemini. I worked in IBM, TCS, Infosys. And my current role in my current organization, which is Capgemini, is a senior data architect. So, it will be not so much mathematical. It will be, I would say, I will be discussing more on the, as per industry, how we see healthcare industry. I will go through some architecture, some analytics on that. So, so this is my email ID, my personal email ID. If anybody have any question or any suggestion, feedback, or anything, please get in touch with me. I will obviously I will reply. So introduction. So the why architecture is needed. So now you probably know everything, whether it is a AI or data warehouse. Main thing is the data. So to 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 place this data, we need the architecture. Architecture. So I go through the definition. So when I say about architecture of healthcare industry, so it will compromise of the IT infrastructure, means all the computers, network, whatever, internet, whatever we have. System standard, they follow some system standard. Data storage, because we need the data. And communication network, I said our network, internet or intranet, that enable efficient healthcare delivery. Okay, it ensures that patient data is securely stored, shared, and processed across the healthcare institution. So data is very, very important things. Data is the new gold. You have heard this one. So in many countries, there are very stringent or strict rules about the PI records of patient's information. Like I cannot share my Aadhaar number or my social security number, my email IDs, my phone number, or my age, date of birth. These are very sensitive data. So it should be stored securely, or it should be encrypted before storing. So I will show you some architectural and analytics, how we are doing in industry, and I will go through some architectural diagram as well. Okay. So next is, so again there is a AI is also coming in. So all of us are talking about AI, Gen AI, and ML, deep learning, and all this. How this influence healthcare? So many industry, including healthcare, are caught in the same balancing act, whether we apply AI or not apply AI, because this AI, Gen AI or AI, is not means what I say. It is not a matured solution as of now. So nobody wants to spend so much money, but they wants to experiment what is AI. So same here in healthcare. Many healthcare industry institutions or company wants to leverage AI functionality, but they are in confused state whether go or not go. So this is so we'll talk more on that also. But AI is the future. So how AI will come? We need data, because anything if we have data, any algorithm or any predictive analysis or anything can be done. Okay. So industry understand in coming year AI data will be through line in all major industry advancement, including healthcare. Whether it is building a better technology foundation for home healthcare, accelerating claim processes, enable whole patients' records, or pursuing alternative payment modes. So nowadays, you probably know that there is AI or robotic surgery is also going on. So so that is some applied application of AI, but that is not so much popular. We still, if we go and see that robot is doing some operation, we feel some means we are not comfortable to do that operation. So, but in coming year, it will be overcome. So we'll see. AI is more. AI will be more. Means what I say, more efficiently operational in healthcare as well. Okay, now I am going to talk about trends in healthcare industry. So, so the contest setting is basically about what are the challenges we are actually that are actually happening with the provider, in particular in terms of integrating millions of data which is actually coming in from so many different sources, and how they are actually able to integrate so that they are really address the challenge real time. So you can see this is there are so many data which is coming from say patient record outcomes. So some patient which is getting admitted in a hospital, they have some records, so which is coming on. There are some IoT things like wearable device like your smart watches or mobile or some sensor data. So that is also coming into we are taking care we are taking as an input. These are all the source system. Then we have some government data, some claims, means from insurance, some partners are there. There are pharmaceuticals, life science, pharmaceuticals, pharma or life sciences institution. So we are getting all these real world data. Then there are clinical trials are also happening, clinical operation outcome, and these are all data which we need to integrate in a data warehouse or data lake, whatever you say, and analyze them. Okay. Next slide. So now, particularly with COVID period, you know, most of these challenges really come up front. Before COVID, we are not so much thought about this healthcare industries. It is only few analytics or KPIs we are looking on. But after this COVID, this we get many challenges because people are stuck in their home. They cannot go, cannot go to hospitals. So the health care provider really struggling to find out what is the best way in which they actually put their foot forward in terms of trying to address some of the data and analytics challenge. Okay, so more and more in terms, you know, whether there is an opportunity in the area of investment, what is happening is a lot of analytical vendor are trying to actually engage with the service provider, see, to get some actionable insights. Okay. And particularly, there are a lot of opportunity in terms of identifying risks of populations that are serving the space potentially in terms of what is happening with COVID. But there are so many different types of populations. Okay. Health analytical solutions that actually being put together because provider are trying to actually look at cohort and trying to address their need in terms of how care management strategy they can put together. Okay, so here they are getting a lot of data from different sources during COVID period, but they do not understand what to do with those data. They cannot make an actionable insights. So that's why this analytics is come into play after COVID area, that what to get all those actionable items from those data we are getting. Okay, so see here. So now you see this ecosystem, what is going on respect to data itself. If you see here, we are getting data from consumer experience platform, health ecosystem platform, IoT platform, and information system platform. So, and we are ingesting this data or integrating data in our data warehouse or data and analytics platform. So, what is that? This is a various sources for data integration. And what are the KPIs we are actually finding out? Like longitudinal patients record, means in area where my COVID is more happened. Say, for example, I have in Kolkata, say, for example, we have Salt Lake Hospital, another one is Newtown Hospital. And we have 100 bed of COVID bed. But in Salt Lake, we have less amount of patient. But in Newtown, we have more patient. So we on analyzing this, we can increase the bed of COVID in Newtown area rather than making more bed available in Salt Lake areas. So these are the KPIs. So we have another KPIs like identifying management, rules management, semantic management, real-time routing and alerting. So these KPIs we can create using this data and data coming from various sources. Okay, so this all of this is actually tied together in terms of providing means aggregated data. So you can see this is a typical means architecture of a healthcare industry. Okay, so if so when you look at the overall approach in terms of how this is panning out with basically 5 different layers. If you see 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 and 4 and 5. Okay, so on the left hand side, what you will see, there are millions of sources that getting integrated because of the EMRs and all other clinical system and the IoTs and all the other data set that are coming in. Like see here, EMRs are there, then other IoTs are there, external data is there. So whenever whenever there is a patient in a hospital, a lot of instrument, life-saving instrument are surrounding him. So from that data, from that instrument, we are getting data for in every second. So we are collecting each layer. So this is my source. Okay. So second piece is this one, curation and enrichment. So once we get this raw data, so we have to make a source of truth or golden record so that it can be accessed by or it can be readable by everyone. The data which we are receiving from the source, most are some of them are the binary numbers, some are JSON files, so which are not human readable. Rather, we have to make it human readable. So we are actually storing those data. We are doing some enrichment or transformation, curation, everything. The second piece is more in terms of how data curation itself happen, so that the interesting aspect is there is demand in terms of trying to curate that data so that you know they can be sanitized and structured so that they can be consumed by the end users. Okay. Number 3, this third layer. So where we will store? We're getting a lot of millions of GB now TV or TVs of data we are getting daily wise. So where we will store? There are 3 types of storage. 2 types of storage, either on-prem or cloud. Okay. So third layer is more in terms of what providers are looking more in terms of how they actually store the data, either on-prem or on cloud or data lake. Okay. and certain visualization tools are there which will go and perform visualization on data stored on either on-premises storage or on cloud storage. Okay, so if you go in the next layer, it is more in terms of how data is prepared and actually served on in preparation. Okay, so how my data is getting prepared. So this data, like I said you here, same here, it is some research is going on that data. Data science is being applied. Okay, so some business logic has been applied. So on this data, which is stored in on-prem or data lake. Okay, after that, how last layer is the consumption of data, where this data is being consumed. This data is needed for BI, business intelligence, or analytics purpose. Either it is a clinical analytics or financial analytics, operational analytics, or some advanced analytics like care graph, research, quality, or applications like patient engagement, telephone health, telemedicines. All are being taken care by this fifth layer. So on the far end, so you can see here, you will see is specifically terms of use case. So these are all the use case where BI, whether it is a BI analytics and or advanced analytics. Okay. So now I will give you some example of actual architecture where we use, say, Azure as a cloud environment. Okay, so this is a actual architecture of any healthcare service. So these are all our source system where we will do some transformation, load into ADLS raw layer, which we say raw or sanitized layer. Then we do some transformation using data bricks or delta engine, Databricks data engine. Then we'll store there. Then it will be consumed by again it will go for some another sort of data engineering if required, or it will be go through other application, either whether by APIs or some data will be shared with some data science team for analytics, or it will be shared for Power BI desktop for visualizations. So this is what the actually typical architecture which we manage, we do in industry. Okay, and we take the insight of data from them. So now I will give some key components of healthcare architecture. So we have electronics health record system. So this is actually a centralized patient information system which store patient medical history, lab result, prescriptions. So this is one of the main system we used in healthcare industry. So what is the advantage of this one? It facilitates real-time access across departments. So for example, when we go to any hospital, whenever we say our patient ID or MRD, they will get all our information, like our name, phone number, email ID, or address, and what are my medical history. I have what disease I have, if I have hospitalized or not. All are stored in this system, which is called EHR. So this is one of the key component of healthcare architecture. So we have to build this one. Second one is Health Information Exchange, HIE. So this is one of the another system which actually needed in architectural of key component of healthcare architecture, because nowadays hospital, if you go to hospital and you and when we care ourselves or we diagnosed with disease, then we have to buy some what I say medicine, right? So there is a engagement of some pharmaceutical company with a hospital. So they take the all the medical medicine information from the hospital about the patients, and they deliver those. So typically currently if we go to any hospital nowadays, pharmacy is also part of that hospital. We may see whenever we go to the pharmacy and say our MRD number or patient ID, they will give they can see whatever the medicine has been prescribed by the doctors. So this is a healthcare information exchange, because hospital say is Apollo, but the pharmacy is any other company. So how they get the information? That is, information is being exchanged via this healthcare information exchange engine. Okay, and also insurance. So if we go, if we have to hospitalize, then there is a cashless insurance is there. So they are also getting the information about the hospitalization and whatever diagnostic is going on, all are being exchanged between hospitals and insurance company. So why it is needed? Why it is needed? Then it actually support interoperability and seamless patient care. It is for patient only, because if insurance company would not have get all the information, then the claim will not approve or claim will not get processed. So so if there is a common database or common architecture, so that exchange data can be exchanged as per the requirements, then hospital and insurance company will be in same page, and they will get all the information, and claim will be processed smoothly and fastly. Okay, that's why we need this health information exchange system. Okay, now all are talking about cloud. Okay, why we are talking about cloud? So medical industry also moving towards the cloud, healthcare industry, I will say. So cloud provider are mainly like AWS by Amazon, Azure by Microsoft, or GCP by Google, or IBM Cloud. There are a lot of cloud. Okay, so why they are going for cloud? Why not the on-prem infrastructure? Because on-prem infrastructure is very costly and very maintainable. The maintenance cost is also too much high, too high. Whereas if we go to cloud-based cloud-based system, it maintenance cost will, operational cost will be very less, and scalable infrastructure. There is a scalability. Means, suppose during COVID period, there are a lot of patients are admitted to the hospital, but non-COVID period, less patients are getting affected, right? So the system which is being used are not enough good. I have told you during COVID period, healthcare system are not so much scalable that time to hold all the records. Okay, that's why miscommunication happened. So now healthcare is going through a huge changing. They upgradation of their system. Okay, so they are moving to cloud system for scalable infrastructure, so that whenever there is a huge requirement, they need not to go and buy some storage. It automatically more storage will come and add to the system as a cloud architecture is there, and also reduce cost and enhance accessibility. So since it is a pay as use, most of the cloud are pay as use. So if whenever the system or cloud system are being used, we have to pay. Otherwise, there is no payment. So maintenance cost, operational cost, or capex cost, all are very less in cloud-based systems. So now healthcare systems are also moving to cloud. So this is one of the key component of healthcare architecture. Now, fourth one is telemedicine and remote patient monitoring. So nowadays, earlier whenever we have flu or we get ill, we have to visit a doctor for consultation. Right? Nowadays, we need not to go. We cannot, means we can go, but it is not compulsory, right? So we can do a virtual consultation. So doctor can come online. We can also, just like in Google Meet we are meeting, so doctor and patient can meet, discuss their illness, prescribed, and they will get whatever the consultation and all the remedies. So this is called telemedicine and remote patient monitoring. So in say US or in some Western country, elders are being cared in their home itself. They seldom get admitted to the hospital, but they are surrounded by lot of devices like some smart watches, and lot of IoTs are there, which is sending alerts and vital information. So say if that elder get get ill, so nearest hospital will be notified, and ambulance will come as soon as possible, will reach at earliest. Okay, so this is also a system which we say as a telemedicine and remote patient monitoring system. So this is also one part of key component of healthcare architecture. Now, fifth one is, this is the most important part, healthcare security architecture. We have built everything. We have built the system. We brought so many machines. We have created cloud. We have hired a cloud service provider. Then a lot of information, lot of patient got enrolled, but there is a compliance of, I said in the first part, is a personal means PI, personal sensitive information, or very personal sensitive information. Okay, PIISI. Okay, so there are two more compliance which should be a part of architecture. So whenever we design the healthcare, not only healthcare, any banking or insurance or anywhere, this compliance we have to keep in mind. So in architecture, architect should know what are the compliance. So for healthcare, HIPAA is the one of the compliance which mostly applied in North Americas, like Canada or US. And there is a GDPR, which is being done in Europe. So we have to act according to the guidelines of this HIPAA and GDPR. So we cannot expose the data to everybody. I said that there is a exchange of data, patient data, but I can, if I say I do not want to exchange my personal information or my disease to anybody. So they have to have some system to control that. Okay, so this, and in HIPAA or GDPR compliance, there are few rules which we have to keep in mind while exchanging or storing the data. Okay, there is one how we can store data? There is a multi-layer encryption so that our data is safe. Okay. If nobody can access our data, if they get hold of our data, they cannot read our data because of encryption. Okay, there's we do some architecture, we follow some architecture how to do encryption. There are two type of encryption are available in industry. One is there's a tool which do the encryption of data, or we do some instead of showing the real IDs, we show them some alternative IDs. Okay, and in the backend we map them. Okay. So, and there are multi-level encryption. It is not only one level. So, say we do encryption on mobile number, social security number like Aadhaar or PAN number. So, multi-layer encryption is there. And authentication. Who will access the data? That is also a very vital thing. Nobody. So, if you go inside a hospital, the front care executives who receive you, they cannot see your whole history. They can see a limited amount of data. Okay, but doctor can see your full disease history. So that is the authentication. Means who are the eligible candidate can see the data. Okay, that is also we have to keep in mind. Now, and third one is blockchain based security. So there will be some layer of approvals. It is not that if I approve, somebody will see data. So there is a some approval process. There layer of approval, first layer, second layer. So there is a blockchain based. So first, unless until the first approver approves, second approval will not able to approve that. Okay. So there is a blockchain based security system is also there. So this is the most important part, and we take a lot of time to build this security architecture part, because if we do not compliant to this HIPAA and GDPR, then a lot of penalty will be imposed, like monetary penalty. There is some good names will also go on. So this is one of the most important and most vital part in our architectural component when we do architecture of our healthcare services. Now, another nowadays this comes into play, which is AI and IoT integration. So I said during our introduction part that nowadays AI powered medical devices came into play. Okay, like remote operation, robotic operation can be done. Okay, some IoT devices like wearable watches, smart watches, or some wearable devices attached to our body, which is in each second, in each millisecond is tracking our body functions. Okay, and data is getting generated, and not only get generated, it is supplied to, it is ingested to the system, which I have shown in this architecture. This one, not only generated, it will ingested real time, and doctor or whoever the monitoring that patient is reading the data and taking the, if there is something bad is coming, he predictably he can take the he can cure that patient. Okay, so we have AI powered diagnostic, many diagnostic system, like I said, you robotic surgery or remote surgery. Okay, then IoT device for real-time patient monitoring. They if the patient is admitted to an hospital or even at home, lot of device we connect so that it can be monitored. Earlier days, some doctor or nurse would be present there to monitor that. Nowadays, it is not required. Doctor will get notification in his mobile or laptop that whatever the information he needs. So these are the key component of healthcare industry. So why uh, seventh one is why we are building data warehouse or this big data analytics. Why you are building? Why this healthcare industry are spending millions of dollars in creating creating this architecture or creating the data warehouse? Because I have shown in the earlier slide that there are few KPIs are there, few matrices are there. Like they want to know where my, because nowadays everything is about the money. They want to earn money. Okay, so they want to know where my patients are, where I will get. So you cannot see Apollo or any big Emory or any big hospital will come and open a hospital wherever they want. They actually do some analytics before opening the hospital. They will check the uh, data that here I have a prospect or not. So not only that, even patient also see the data, whether if I go to Peerless Hospital or Apollo or Manipal, where I will get treated well. And nowadays, reference of doctor is gone. It is all about data, right? Data analytics means patients also seeing the data. Even whenever if we get we want a operation on our kidney, then we'll go and Google it, that which is the best hospital for kidney and which are the best available doctors available, what are their ratio of treatment, what is their success rate, and everything is available everywhere. So then we decide that we will go to that hospital and treated by that doctor. Earlier days, what we'll do, we go to we go by referral part. Nowadays, it is more on the data-driven decision. So that's why we need this data warehouse or big data analytics. Big data means, yeah, we have lot of data, millions or trillions of data are running each day, and we are making an insight of that. So what is the advantage of this? Improve patient outcomes with real data access, and also improve patients outcomes means treatments. Because a patient is being diagnosed in hospital, it is not possible to surveillance him or her 24 hours, right? So we will have, if we have a machine attached to them, and IoT devices, then each second that patient is getting monitored. So we can get the prediction, or we can alert if anything is bad is coming or anything happened to that patient. So so it improve our patients patient services. Cost efficiency through cloud and AI driven automation. I have said that there is a cost also. Everyone wants to minimize, everything is about the money. So everybody wants to minimize the cost and increase the profitability. So this data warehouse and big data analytics give them cost efficiency, and also AI driven automations, and also we can do automation, and every second we can monitor the patient. Okay, enhance security and compliance. So earlier, in when we do not have so much data warehouse in healthcare, so data are flowing here and there. So they all are paper based prescription and everything. So which is moving here there, and compliance is getting on both. Most of them are non-compliant. So and there is a legal case is being done either by patient sides or by hospital sides because of those non-compliance, and lot of money is being penalized. So this enhance, whenever there is a data warehouse, we have enhanced the security and compliance. Okay, and there is a seamless collaboration between healthcare provider. So healthcare provider is not only the hospital. Healthcare provider consists of hospitals, pharmacy, then you have insurance, health insurance company, and other healthcare services, other hospitals. So they, I have told you there is a seamless information exchange between those service providers. So just like if we provide the right information to insurance company, so health that claim will be processed fast and seamlessly. That's why we have so many. That's why we have this architecture in presence, which will help the collaboration between all these healthcare services. Also, we have, if you see earlier, we have called medical representative, which actually often visit doctor and prescribe the medicine. Nowadays, those are very those kind of profession become those it is being replaced by this AI. So now doctors are getting all the information of the medicine via either via mail or info or by by WhatsApp or chat or some session, online sessions. So doctor is also updated with the all the medicines. So pharmaceutical company are also working very closely with this healthcare service provider to so that's why this is a I say this is a collaborate. It is a collaboration. Okay. Between all these healthcare service provider. For this I would like to say now architecture is now moving from this typical data warehouse to data mesh architecture. Yeah, so I hope you have gone through you have someone heard about this data mesh architecture where we in data mesh architecture, what we do actually, we divide all this data as a data domain kind of thing. Like patient is a data domain. So in patient data domain, we have say patient 360 view, like patient ID, address, all this demographical information, and which one will be shared with whom, that is also given. Like I will so what means say patient has he has two child. Okay, so what pharmacy company will get if we get that information, what they will do with that two, he has two child. Okay, so the information which is being shared among among these healthcare providers are being what I say improved. Okay, using various architectural techniques. Now data is a product. Now we do not sell. Now we do not share the data. We sell the data as a product. So like here, patient is a product. Data domain is patient. Same way we have claim. We have hospitals. All those are the data product. Okay, so those are being shared. So these are the typical architecture which we follow in healthcare industry. Now I will move to analytical part of healthcare industry. So we have talked more on data part. There are a lot of data. Now what we will do with all those parts? There's a compliance, there's a exchange of data, there is a storage of data, all those stuff. Now main part is the analyzing of that data and get the insight. Okay, so if I go with the definition, it is written: healthcare analytics refer to the systematical use of data and statistical techniques to improve patient care, reduce cost, and optimize operations. So once data is available, those data sets are being used by data scientists or ML guys to bring the more insight, more more insight on some algorithm can be uh, done on those data, and an improvement of patient care or cost optimizations or operational cost can be reduced. Okay, so we'll see. So what kind of data healthcare analytics are there? There are two, mostly few types are there. One is descriptive analysis. So what is descriptive analysis? It is analysis of the past data to understand the trends. Like I said, patient admission rates means in COVID area, so COVID period, which area is more affected. So there we will increase the bed size, COVID bed size. Okay, so that data is being analyzed using the past record. Means after getting the data, we are analyzing the data. So this is called descriptive analysis. Then we have predictive analysis. So descriptive analysis mostly done using BI tools like have you heard about Tableau or Power BI and all those stuff we can do. But predictive analysis is about some predictions or some means whether using all machine learning or deep learning or AI to forecast disease outbreaks and readmission risks. So suppose if there is a disease like COVID again come, so what we'll do? So how it outbreaks? So all these things we predict using the data set which we have in our data warehouse or data mesh, wherever we have. So we use those data as a data set, then we can predict the future. Okay, and also what is the readmission test? Suppose I have a knee replacement operation. What is the risk that patient can get again admitted for, say, earlier he have left leg knee replacement? What is the prediction that he will readmitted for his right leg? So now hospital are also very smart. They will start analyzing this data and try to give the offers to the patient that you since you have done the first leg, so for second leg I will give you 20% discount. So this is the predictive analysis which they do. Okay. Then prescriptive analysis. This is provide the recommendation for treatment plan and resource allocation. Prescriptive means whenever patient is being admitted, what are the treatment and resource, whether he will give saline or some oxygen cylinder or not, all those resource allocation, this will give the recommendation of the disease which he got. So sometimes it happens that patient is admitted, that time there is no doctor. So the ward boy or nurses who are there using this prescriptive analysis, they can recommend few life-saving remedies. Okay, so this is very important part also in healthcare analytics. The fourth one is operational analysis. So optimize hospital workflow, staff allocation, financial management. These are the operational analysis, means how many staff we need, which staff will go to which ward, allocation, workflow, then financial management. All these are also being done with a data set which we have stored in our first part in our data warehouse. Now application of data means analytics. So this earlier is the types of data analytics. Now application. Say one is patient care optimization. So here we have AI driven diagnostic like detecting of cancer through image recognition. So earlier what happened, that cancer is a disease where we do not predict, rather than we prescribe it whenever cancer happen, and we give a medicine to that patient. But now AI driven diagnostic center and more research is being done all over in many parts of the world to detect the cancer beforehand. there are some few symptoms, so which will give detection, like some X-rays or some say MRI reports, which will be given to the AI system. Using the intelligence of AI, it will detect, okay, cancer, not only cancer, uh, other disease as well. Also, personalized treatment plans based on the patient's history. So, some patients have some tendency of some, say, headache, or some other disease. Whenever that patient get admitted, so personalized treatment can be allocated to that patient uh, based on his historical data information. So this is the one of the application of healthcare analytics. Second is fraud detection and prevention. So there are many fraud. See, whenever there is a money is concerned, fraud is happening. Not only fraud happen on only monetary, but data is also being compromised. So I said that data is now new gold. So if data is leaked, lot of uh, means complaint or penalty is being charged to that healthcare service provider. So healthcare service provider also means they use this analytics for fraud detection and how it can be prevented. Lot of fraud is uh, coming in nowadays. So they detect that, and measures are being taken using healthcare analytics. Second is supply chain management. It is always means I said in one of my earlier slide that data is being exchanged between many service provider, healthcare provider. Not only hospital data is being means exchanged with life science, means pharmaceutical company, so that drugs can be all the medicine can be provided. If there is a shortage, inventory management shortage, it can be uh, refilled, okay, or it can be sent. Uh, okay, just like during so it all came because during COVID period, you probably heard that shortage of oxygen cylinder or some medicines were there. So for that, to to get not so that cannot reoccur. So we have done this predictive analysis of drug shortage and inventory. Okay. Now, public health monitoring, just like not only the patient, also government use this system for public health. So government has the access to all the system. There is a uniform healthcare system which government can see and notify the disease outbreak. Suppose if there is a COVID-19, during that government uh, announced the outbreak of disease, so that this lockdown and everything is being imposed. So they are tracking the trains. So a few days back, we got another disease came in from China. So for that, government said that don't panic, it is normal, because they are closely monitoring that how many patients are being admitted or diagnosed with that disease, and how it is getting whether it is getting that disease getting outbreaks or not, and accordingly notification is being done. Okay. Then remote patient monitoring and wearable analytics. I said this many times that we have smartphones, smartwatches, and other IoT devices which can be put inside a body to detect patient health and give the notification if there is any deterioration. So this is the application of health analytics. So, but whenever we have system, there's some challenges. I said you, there are many challenges. The most important challenge is the first one. Whenever we, as an architect, I face this challenge, lot of challenge, because different country has different rules. We do not know. Suppose we in Europe, UK has some rules, Germany has some other rules. Okay, but there is a standard for each country, and we have to follow. Okay, so data privacy and compliance is the main challenge. Means who can see your data and who cannot see your data, where, how much encryption can be done and how much not. We have to follow this compliance, HIPAA and GDPR compliance. We have to be compliant. Otherwise, there will be penalty, and that is a huge penalty. So this is very challenging factor while we are creating healthcare architecture or healthcare data data warehouse. Okay, and integration of data from different sources. This is also one of the bigger challenge. I said you in the earlier slide that we are getting data from lot of source system, whether it is a CRM tools, whether from IoTs, different source vendors, many things from everywhere we are getting data, and each data is important. We cannot skip any data. So, and all data we need to integrate to get the insight. We cannot keep it in a raw manner. We have to make a readable format. So integrating data in from different sources. I'm giving one example. Say in a hospital CRM tool, say patient ID are in a numerical number. Say patient ID 1, 2, 3, Tuhin Mukherjee, patient ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. But in pharmaceutical, the patient ID is in alphanumerical form. Very simple example I am giving. So for Tuhin Mukherjee pharmaceutical, it is A _ 1, 2, 3, 4. This is my patient ID. Both patient ID are different, but in my data warehouse, I want to maintain one. Otherwise, how will understand that this 1, 2, 3, 4, this patient is actually taking this medicine 1 to A _ 1, 2, 3, 4. So otherwise, data means patient wrong patient will get wrong medicine, right? So integration or means integrating this data from the various sources is very challenging. We have to make one 360-degree view of patient, and we have to match the patient. Okay, so there are a lot of algorithms, lot of process are there, how we match. So in some other session, I will discuss on that part. So matching algorithm is there. So and our process is there, which we do to match the record. Okay, and second one is nowadays. Earlier we are only getting the structural data, so it is very easy to manage the structural data. Now we are getting a large number of unstructured data as well. Like we are getting, I say the X-ray report, image. Then we are getting sound. Say heartbeat are coming, sound. So these are the unstructured data. So they do not have any proper format. So managing those data, and which are coming in a very large scale. So managing data is become also a challenge for us. But we have many alternatives how to handle those unstructured data using various algorithms. And we store those data in big data platforms like say in Azure we store those in ADL, means those ADLS, or in AWS we store in S3, and we make an insight from those record, like we have, say, image processing algorithm to read those X-rays and bring that insights to the doctor. So these are the because it is required, because say a doctor is sitting in Bangalore and a patient is sitting in Delhi, if how he can show his X-ray reports. So that report should be processed so that the doctor can get the insight. Otherwise, say he has broken his leg in one part, doctor can see other part, then it will be very, very difficult. So that is also challenging part. But yes, there is a challenge. Wherever there is a challenge, there is obviously there is a there is a solution. We bring that solution and provide to the our healthcare partners, and we build a good data warehouse for them, big data for their analytical purposes. So what is the future now? Since this is the last slide, so what is the future of healthcare analytics? The future is very, very, very positive future. So in healthcare, we see lot of this AI powered decision system will come into play in near future. Already it is in build, right? Just like telemedicine, teleconsultation, robotic operation. Okay, so more will come in near future. More will do. So people are going doing so many research on this AI powered decision support systems. So, and this healthcare industries are also spending millions of dollars on this AI system. Then blockchain for securing data sharing. Blockchain here, I mean to say means some level of approvals, okay, before it is going to secure data, before it is available for any other service provider. So it will go through some encryption or some deletion of records, some manipulation of record before sharing. Okay, and expansion of real-time analytics in telemedicine. So real-time analytics also done, just like I said a few minutes back, that a person is sitting in Delhi is being consulted with a doctor in Bangalore. So through internet. So that should be a real time. It should not be that doctor see the record, see the X-ray plate 5 minutes back, then how he can consult. So he should be seeing the record on real time, so that he can consult or advise the patient with the right medicine or right remedies. So this is also a good features we have. So there are more and more expansion is going on. I heard about 3D doctor, 3D image of doctor will be available. So if we go to the new hospital and doctor is virtually present there in 3D format, so that as same as actual doctor is sitting there. So these are the future of healthcare analytics, and there I can see a lot of many things are coming, and lot of scientists are working day in day and night, and to make our life more easy and healthcare industry more big, means more useful to the patient and the society as a whole. So this ends my presentation. So any questions? So I am now open with the questions. Also, if time doesn't permit, so please mail me with your queries. I will obviously get back to you. I will mail. If I do not know that your answer, then I will take some time and I will obviously get back to you. So, Dr.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Myself, Dr. Suparna Vishwas, one of the coordinators. Thank you, sir, for your illuminating and elaborated talk. Sir, we can take couple of questions, quick couple of questions, if any participant wants to. Any question?
Yeah, we already have one hand raised. That is from Ramesh Kumar Shumkara. Please ask your question. Participants, do you have any questions? You may directly unmute and ask.
Sir, meanwhile, I have one as I work in this area. Just for clarification of the scholars specifically, like, sir, as you were saying that the doctor should get the raw medical data in real time.
Yes.
And yes, and sir, if we see the country like India, like where the huge population is there, and there are a lot many patients, and maybe the doctor scarcity is there. So, what is suggested? Like the doctor should always get the raw data, or there are so many AI-enabled intelligent recommender systems nowadays. Like recommender system in the sense that initial classification or initial diagnosis or initial advice is getting generated analyzing the raw data. So doctor should get access of both the things at once for their facility as their facilitating service, or the only raw data they should get.
Yes, Dr. Suparna. So thank you for your question. I said that there is a process. We have this data warehouse process is there, which will analyze, we will see the raw data, we will make it real-time insights. Okay, real-time insight. It is not that the doctor will see the raw data. Instead, he will see the insight of that record. Suppose, for example, say there is a X-ray. So doctor can see as the raw X-ray plates as well as the report generated from those image processing sensors are there, image processing algorithm. It will create the insight for that. And after analyze that raw data, it will create the insights, which doctor can see on spot.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir, we can share your email ID with the participants and they can readily communicate with you further for any research related.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Supan. Yes,
There
Dev
is one
Shekhar Laha.
question from
Okay.
Dev Shekhar Laha.
Yes,
you
sir.
are audible.
Am I audible, sir?
Please go ahead.
Okay. Is there any hospital, whether it's a government or private, are they using any kind of thing that you have discussed till date? Because I have visited so many private hospital as well as like even I have visited CMC also. They rarely provide any patient data. I mean, the history of the patient as well as the diagnosis of the patient through their portal or app. Okay, so maybe they have. So what is the current condition of the healthcare system right now? Whether government is really trying to accept these kind of things, whether
Yes.
the healthcare system are really interested on this, or everything we are doing on a research purpose only.
No. This is not research purpose, Dev Shekhar. Many healthcare, many hospitals in India also doing that. I name a few. If you go for Manipal Hospital, they are doing online online consultation, telecon consultation. Also, Vellore CMC means Christian Medical College is also doing that. AIMS is also they are also what I say stepped up to do those. I give you on real example. Say during COVID time, there is a access of a tool, means some tool called yoga. What I do not remember. There is a tool, Arogya or something like that. Okay, where you
Arogya
get
Setu. Arogya Setu.
yeah, Arogya Setu. Yes,
Hmm.
that is a real-time analytics, right? Whenever there is a means you are diagnosed, if we are diagnosed with COVID-19, all those details are uploaded there. And not only a hospital, many other institution also accessing that records, right? Like say if you fly through airlines has access to that RGSA to see whether you are diagnosed with COVID or not. So that is the basic level of your data sharing. And telemedicine is nowadays a very common. If you have some reputed say insurance, just like I say few name, I'm not sorry, I'm not going to market anyone, but I'm saying I would say Star Health or ICICI Lombard. If you see, there is a called telemedicine. Okay, you teleconsultation. You can do teleconsultation. You have to upload your means whatever, and they upload your prescription then and there, and also you can upload your report. They analyze that. Okay, so it is going on in India, since Dr. Suparna Vishwas says that India is a very vast country with large number of population. It takes time, but we are not habituated with that. But in Western world or in other part of the world, this is very common nowadays. And so that's why we are getting so many projects in our IT company on healthcare on this part. And in
Okay.
India also it is going on. If you go to Manipal hospital or any other hospital, you'll see. Because see, it is not about a hospital, it is about patient. If you want a paper consultation, then they will provide you paper consultation. But nowadays, Apollo, Manipal, they give you consultation over your mail or over electronics, means prescribed things. I give you an example. Last week I visited Sankara Netralaya, which is an eye organization in Newtown. The whole things they are doing in computerized. They do not write anything on a single piece of paper. They do everything from means on computer. So even your receipt is also getting generated in a PDF form, and they send us an email and link, even prescription and everything. So this is one way to manage your data. Say, for example, say if I go after 6 months and I lost my prescription, it doesn't matter. They have everything. So it is useful, right? So you have details of your eye history, eye checkup histories, your means whatever the power or whatever diagnosis you have done, everything is there. So they are managing those, and also those histories being shared with their partners. I say, for example, Titan Eye Plus is partnering with say with the Sankara Netralaya. They get say I have a eye power of minus say 2. Okay, they get this information, and then Titan Eye Plus will send me some offers that if you buy eyewear from us, I will give you 10% discount. Predictively, they are sending few information to us so that they generate some money. Okay, business. All is I said you, Dev Shekhar, everything is business. So this is what is going on in India. But yes, as compared to the other part of the world, we are lagging, because it is not lacking as far as infrastructure. IT is very, very strong in India. It is about a mindset of people. Unless until we get a paper prescription, we said that doctor is very, very, very not good, right? So that is what going on. But Devshekar, have you heard about robotic operation is being done in
Yes,
Apple?
I have heard about the robotic operation, and the robotic operation is operating like eye surgery and some minor surgeries like
Yeah. So
minor.
it gives you the doctor is sitting in Chennai operating in Kolkata. So that is
That kind of
this
things are happening. Yeah,
yeah
but
AI.
still there is a problem with like if I am like you mentioned that you are going, you have visited Shankar Netralaya, New Town. But suppose you are not satisfied with the Shankar Netralaya, New Town. Now you want to consult with some other hospitals like AIMS Delhi. On that time, the data, I mean the whatever the patient
Yeah.
history, that is not stored centrally somewhere, or that is not managed by the government, so that I can go to AIMS Delhi and tell them that okay, these are the things I have done, because sometimes the patient don't know the medical terms, they cannot like tell everything
Okay.
to the so
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
uh,
Got
so
it.
whether
Yeah. This
blockchain
is about.
technology, yeah,
Yeah. I get it. Sorry to interrupt in between.
yes, sir.
Yeah. It is about the partnership. Whether the Sankar Netlai has a partnership with AIMS or not. Okay, you cannot share your data with everybody. I said during our discussion, there is a compliant HIPAA or GDPR, right? So we cannot share our data. That is the most important part, unless until there is a partnership. Okay, so we need to see whether there is a partnership between AIMS and this hospital, so that data can be exchanged. Otherwise, they cannot exchange. And since government is not centralizedly managing every disease nowadays, so there is no pool of say central pool, but just like disease outbreaks like COVID, which is being centralized managed. So everybody in India, every corner you can see, every hospital has your data because it is centrally managed. It is a policy taken by government, but not every disease can be managed, right? So there is a chance that, I heard that cancer will be centralized to manage, because cancer is very vulnerable and patient can be cured at earliest, right? So system are being built so that this cancer information can be available to every hospital, who will be connected to the centralized database, right? There is a centralized system which will be managed by government, and that hospital should be connected to that and should be a part of that partnership. Okay, it is all about partnership, Dev Shekhar. It is not that your data is safe. For example, you treated with some flu, and your data is being say flu, and you are cured by your local nursing home, and one day a sales executive from say Amri calling you, please get hospitalized in our hospital, and we are giving you 10% offer, 10% bed rent offer. So are you will be comfortable with that? No, because you do not want your this sensitive information to be shared, right? And this disease is very personal thing. Okay, so unless until there is a government initiative which disease can be shared, we cannot share our disease information to all others. Okay, but in India, yes, it is being developed. It is not developed, but it is being developed, and so we are developing on the rules. We do not have such rules, but in near future we'll see. We'll get those information. Yes, and also they like robotic surgery. One hospital, say Dev Sethi, which is the heart specialist, so he can treat in any hospital. So via AI system. So there's a tie, right? So it is being done to share, or treatment can be done in any part of India, and information is being shared to other hospitals. Hope I
Yes,
give
sir.
you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. My last, just small query. IT company like Capgemini, what kind of projects you people are getting like this particular domain? In this particular domain, what kind of project you get, or you
We
people are working? Yeah.
Yeah. I am actually from data warehouse, big data competency. So we are getting a lot of project on big data, uh, means creating the architecture, building their data warehouse, getting data science project, predictive analysis, more. So those AI, ML kind of projects we are getting from lot of healthcare mm, industries all over the world.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your
Thank you
time.
for the elaborative interaction.
Hmm.
So here we extend our heartfelt and sincere thanks to the distinguished speaker of this session, Mr. Tuhin Kumar Mukherjee, delivering the lecture on data architecture and analytics in healthcare. So, sir, thank you so much for being with us and extending your valuable expertise in the industry on this particular topic, which is a very emerging area of research and which has immense application in country like India. So, thank you so much, sir, once again. And and here we conclude day 3. First session was AI in computational genetics by Professor Dr. Sriyankaracharya sir, and so every day we have tried to keep the sessions back-to-back sessions with a combination of academia and industry to get a 360-degree view of the problem. So hope there are good takeaways from today's sessions. So with this, we will conclude today's session and have a good day. So tomorrow we will start day 4 sharp at 6 p.m.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Suparna,
all.
and good night all.
Yeah. Yeah.